Madam Joyce from Educare TZ. I'm teaching biology, and today I'll be with you, my student, to discuss our topic, which is coordination and irritability. So mainly here, we are going to deal with our subtopic, which is the hormonal coordination in mammals. So within our topic, or within our subtopic, we have already tried to look different kinds of content which are found within it. So we can recall ourselves on where we end on the last session, is whereby we try to see the functions of the hypothalamus. Tukasema hypothalamus ndio ambayo inafanya kazi zote za mwili, ina control different kinds of body activities that we can do every day. Is due to the presence of the hypothalamus. But also remember, we are discussing on the hormonal coordination in mammals, since we are discussing on the hormonal and nervous coordination. Tukisema hivyo tunamaanisha kwamba hypothalamus na pituitary gland zinafanya kazi pamoja ili kufacilitate nervous coordination na hormonal coordination iweze kutokea within an organism effectively. So now we are going to deal with our thing that is a pituitary gland, as I promised you in the last session that in this session we are going to begin looking on the pituitary gland. And remember, there is a connection between the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. And this hypothalamus ndio ambaye inakuwa ina bring its content into the hypothalamus, or bring its content into the pituitary gland. So we have to know what are these pituitary glands and what are the function of these pituitary glands. So now we are saying that the pituitary gland is often referred as a master gland because it controls the activities of the many body endocrine glands throughout the body. So now we can say that the pituitary gland is the master gland. Since in our body we have different kinds of glands. We have pancreatic gland, we have adrenal gland. Different kinds of glands are found within our body. Sasa zile glands zote zina be controlled au zinaongozwa na hii gland kuu ambayo inaitwa pituitary gland. Tezi kuu ambayo inaitwa pituitary glands. So na ndio maana tunaita the master of a gland, since it can control the activities of many endocrine glands. Tukisema endocrine glands are all ductless glands. So this pituitary gland, it enhances production of those production of hormones within the endocrine glands. So now let's see the importance, or we can say that the point about the functions of these pituitary glands in our body with the examples. So the first function of this hormone, the first function of this pituitary gland, we can say that it is involved within the hormonal control. Pituitary gland ndio inafanya kazi ya hormonal control. Ina control different kinds of hormone to be produced or to be released by different kinds of organ which are found within our body. Remember, within the pituitary gland we have two segments. The first segment, it is called the anterior pituitary gland. The second segment, it is called the posterior pituitary gland. Now within it is whereby there's different kinds of hormones are released so that it can trigger the response to the adrenal, or we can say that endocrine glands. So now here we are saying that the first function of these pituitary glands is to control the hormone production. On how? We are saying that the pituitary gland produce and secretes hormones that regulate the functions of other hormone or endocrine gland. So hii pituitary gland ina produce hormones. Zile hormone ndio ambayo itaenda kutrigger the release of hormones into other endocrine glands. Let's see this example. For example, we can say that pituitary gland, it releases thyroid stimulating hormone, that is TSH. which stimulate the thyroid gland to produce thyroid hormone. Na hiyo ndiyo maana ya master. Yaani tukisema master ni kitu ambacho kina control au kinaongoza kitu kingine. For example, hapa tumetoa mfano mzuri kabisa. We have this hormone ambayo inazalishwa na pituitary gland, ndani ya anterior pituitary gland, ambayo inaitwa inaitwa thyroid stimulating hormone. Hii thyroid stimulating hormone ndiyo ambayo itaenda kustimulate thyroid gland so that it will release thyroxine hormone. And also, apart from that, this pituitary gland has got another function. That is, we can say that pituitary gland involved in the growth and development. It is involved in growth and development. How? Here we are saying that the pituitary gland secretes growth hormone, which is essential for normal growth and development. So, due to the presence of this hormone, mainly we are talking about growth hormone. We're going to see later on the example. But here you have to know that this hormone or this pituitary gland, it is essential for production of growth to occur within an individual. Mtu leo anaweza akakua au from beginning mtoto anaanza vile kukaa chini, thereafter anakuja anatambaa, anasimama, anatembea, is due to the presence of the pituitary gland. So now let's see this example. So if the pituitary gland does not produce enough growth hormone, a child may experience stunted growth. So we can say that without pituitary gland there is no growth. Kwa sababu pituitary gland ndiyo ambayo iko responsible kwa ajili ya kutengeneza hormone ambayo inasababisha growth to occur within an individual. And a good example of the hormone which is responsible for growth to occur within an organism, it is called thyroxine hormone. Or we can say that the thyroid stimulating hormone, later on it is produced thyroxine hormone. So that is the hormone. So we can say that the pituitary gland enhance growth and development of a child. Mtoto anaweza vile kukaa chini, anaweza kutambaa, anasimama, anatembea. Ile inakuwa ni kwa sababu tu ya presence of the pituitary gland. And another functions of the pituitary gland, we can say that it is involved in the metabolic processes. What kind of metabolic processes that this pituitary gland involved? Here we are saying that pituitary glands or pituitary hormones influence metabolism, including regulating blood sugar levels and energy utilization. So we can say that different kinds of metabolic activities which occur within our body are regulated by the pituitary hormone. For example, the hormone which are responsible for blood sugar regulation, to maintain amount of sugar level within the blood, is due to the presence of different kinds of hormones which are produced by the pituitary glands. For example, here we have pituitary glands release and we can say that adrenocorticotropic hormone, that is abbreviated by ACTH. This hormone, which is responsible for stimulating adrenal gland to produce cortisol. This cortisol hormone, it is involved in the blood sugar regulation. So now you can see how the importance of this pituitary gland in the metabolic processes. A good example here, we have seen that regulating amount of sugar level within the blood. Sukari ndani ya damu inahitajika iwe kwa kiwango kinachohitajika. Sasa pale ambapo sukari itakuwa chini, kwenye mwili kunakuwa na pituitary gland. Ile pituitary gland ina release its content into the blood. That is adrenocorticotropic hormone. That is, we can say that ACTH. This ACTH will cause the release, or it will stimulate the adrenal gland so that it can release the cortisol hormone to produce the hormone or to regulate amount of sugar within the blood. So it is very important and it is very crucial for having this pituitary gland, since it can control different kinds of metabolic rate or metabolic processes which are occurring within our body, and to bring the body to its stable conditions. So my students, let's end here, but in the next session also we proceed looking on this function of the functions of the pituitary gland. Thank you for listening.